Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. I'm your host, Venerati, and here we go. It's going to be the second matchup in between QXC and LiquidHuk. Of course, we are going to be seeing them playing here on Xel'Naga Caverns, one of the most balanced maps, well considered. I guess there's really no scientific way to measure balance, but really, this is pretty much it as far as ladder maps go. Blizzard creations, unlike things like Jumble Base and crap like that. But either way, so we're not going to have to worry about anything too crazy. But the cool thing about this map, well, actually, there's a lot of cool things. I like the Xel'Naga the towers in the middle. You get to see pretty much all the movements. It's only this tiny area out here that you can skirt around without truly being seen. We have pretty much mirror. Well, it is mirror right through here with all the expansions and whatnot. But I like this little back alleyway that you can shove your units. You know, great for Hellions to come through here because we do have a little brush here. Gonna be keeping everything hidden back there, and they can run into the mineral line and do lots and lots of damage. Now, it's really fun to do when you're on the aggressive side of that one. It's not really much fun when you're on the receiving end, but it's easily blocked by 2 pylons or 2 supply depots or whatever. It's really kind of hard to block as a Zerg player. I guess you could put an Evo chamber back there if you really wanted to. But either way, what do we have going on here from both of our players? QXC keeping a very tight build here. Actually very tight. No surface area right here that they can run into the mineral line. Very defensive build. Not going to be worrying, of course, about walling off or anything like that. Kind of useless against Protoss. The only time I can really see it being super useful is if we had some early Zealot aggression. And of course you can tell by scouting and other things like that whether or not you're really going to be seeing something of that nature. Proxy gate, you can put them over here and it can be very, very devastating, or back up in here. And that is very, very difficult to deal with as a Terran player if you don't wall off. But you can bunker, then inversely they can run past the bunker. There's a lot of variables into it, but at this level, it's really hard to get away with that. The proxy gateway, because here we go. We actually have a Marine poking out and around, trying to figure out, hey, what's going on, snooping around, and doesn't want to allow himself to get caught off guard like that. So, either way, that's what's going on with this. LiquidHuk will be opening up here. Has already grabbed his other assimilator, and chrono boosting out a Stalker. Where's the Zealot? You generally see a lead off with the Zealot, but we're not actually seeing that right here. So going to be Stalker first, and doesn't really have... Where's that rally going? There we go. That rally's all the way over here. So he wants that to be an aggressive Stalker, wants to be a, going to be poking around. Here we go. Actually, we'll be seeing his first victim, as this Marine, unfortunately, will not be able to run away. And boom, there you go. He gets shot down as he tries to run up the ramp and see what exactly is going on. LiquidHuk really hasn't built anything else, so there wasn't that much to actually see up here. Now, we see LiquidHuk chrono boosting out a second Stalker, so we could be seeing some early pressure here from LiquidHuk. And there we go, a third Stalker is on the way as well. So LiquidHuk definitely looking to produce some early units here, and it could be very hard for QXC to deal with this if he's caught out in the open. Now, we do have the 3 Marines here, and we'll have the bunker. The bunker will be able to allow these 3 Marines to hold something off like that. But, it's very easy to run past these kind of bunkers. And we do actually have a Hellion mucking around, and he is going to be moving out here, looking to scout around, and maybe looking to cause some mischief as well, as it looks like his existence was caught by these Xel'Naga towers. Yes, here we go. The 2 Stalkers do see this Hellion. Both of them will be giving it a pot shot, but it's going to be hauling ass away, as the Stalkers are not going to be quick enough to catch up with it. Here we go. Actually, QXC moving out here. 4 Marines, 1 Marauder, going to be poking around, and this 1 Hellion will be hunting down that Pro mercilessly right there. Stalker taking the Xel'Naga tower. LiquidHuk wants to know what's going on. This other Stalker getting in contact with that Hellion, and we don't have stim in here, so QXC will not be able to really kill this Stalker. Hellions really suck at killing Stalkers. Pretty much suck at killing anything that is not light. But here we go. Actually, a Robo Bay coming down with another gateway. So right now, LiquidHuk only on 2 gateways, though he has been constantly building up units while he's waiting on the Warp Gate technology. He has the Sentry, so he can go ahead and he will be able to defend against any sort of early pressure here from QXC. If QXC did have a larger force that would be able to overcome this, but right now, LiquidHuk definitely has the advantage on the field at this point, as Stim has still not shown up here. And here we go. Actually, QXC will be engaging these Stalkers. The Hellions causing the Stalkers to fall back. I'm not really sure about that. And the Stalkers really not going to have to be too worried about that, as we do see them focus firing down these units, trying not to allow the contact. And these Marauders very, very brutal on the gateway units. But it does look like QXC will be losing all of these units right here, as the Marauders will not be able to run away without that Stim. As we do see him trying to focus down these Stalkers. Not going to happen, as this one Marauder almost killing the Stalker. 4 HP left over. So right now LiquidHuk looking to apply some pressure as the bunker goes down on this front ramp, as QXC is going to be bracing for the coming attack. Meanwhile, though, he is actually trying to, well, setting himself up for an expansion. And look at this production tab. This is huge. Just cranking out a lot of stuff right now. Good stuff. Take a look at the APM tab real quick just to see what's going on. As LiquidHuk keeping pretty solid 230, 250 as his overall average for the entirety of the game. Almost 300. That's pretty crazy. If we take a look here at the income tab, QXC a little bit farther ahead, but he doesn't have his expansion taken. He does have the command center down. He does have the orbital command on the way, but he just doesn't have the real estate, because Huck is kind of hanging out there and is going to be loitering on the front side. There's a Stalker actually getting sniped right there as his head kind of flies up in the air and bounces around, sadly. So QXC feeling kind of safe right there. LiquidHuk really only poking around, as it does have the Observer. He does have vision of the high ground, so he can kind of pick at this bunker with the Stalkers, as they will have range to go ahead and get a hold of that bunker, but not really going to be able to do much, and other than just kind of take damage here, as he can't afford to do this with the shields, with the mechanic of the Stalker shield, or Protoss shields, period. But he's definitely going to want to go ahead and make sure that he puts his wounded guys in the back, because, yeah, ooh, that guy with the 4 and 42. So QXC continuing to kind of build up this bio ball. Both their economies sitting at the same level. Stim has completed for QXC. He has medevacs in the air as well, so he can go ahead and stim without feeling that he's going to be softening up his units too much. Combat shields finishing up there just momentarily, and actually a force field coming down and trying to catch a couple of these Marines and Marauders out of position. There we go. Actually, we'll be catching none of them. None of them. Actually losing a Stalker right there. So Huck's little harassment right here really not doing too much for him, but it is keeping QXC bottled up. It is keeping QXC feeling kind of pressured and not feeling secure in his positioning. Meanwhile, though, back at base Huck, we do have 2 more gateways on the way. This robotics, I'm really surprised we haven't seen a Immortal coming out here, because we see Marauders. We see actually a pretty even count of Marauders and Marines. So this mix-up, we have this really heavy armor unit, and that's what Immortals specialize in. They're like, please feed me these Marauder M&Ms, because they're tasty and delicious, and they just melt in Immortal mouths. So Immortals really don't have mouths, I guess, but it's not really important. You get what I'm talking about. So right now, actually, a Ghost Academy just now finishing up here. Where is it? And there she is. So these ghosts are going to play a huge role for QXC, just for the simple fact of EMP. Maybe if he wants to, he could call down a nuke, but nukes are so rare. They're just really rare. Very difficult to utilize in an effective manner, because you got to get cloaked. I guess you don't have to get cloaked, but it's advised to get cloaked. You got to get the positioning. You got to spend the money on the nukes. And it takes a lot of time, very micro positioning intensive. And, okay, you only have to click the button to nuke them. But it's all about positioning, because if you hear the nuke signal coming down, you know to look for your mineral lines. And so you got to be sneaky about it. You got to really, you got to be attacking and nuking at the same time, do the sleight of hand, make the opponent look over here where all the action is, and slip in that dagger and just cripple them economically. So here we go. Enough about nuclear devices. We have QXC moving out here with a very Marauder-heavy army, actually. And let's take a look at the unit tab, see what's going on. We have 15 Marauders, 12 Marines, 2 medevacs, and I believe we have Ghosts on the way. Yeah, we have 3 Ghosts on the way, so EMP blast galore. Is that Marine actually getting a little ballsy right there, as it was trying to ward off this Stalker. Seeing what's going on, we'll be moving back here, and LiquidHuk seems that there's so much bio on the field. We'll be going Colossi right now. We'll be getting ground weapons level 1 with the Thermal Lance upgrade. It's going to be huge, as this really helps the Colossi deal and just deal so much damage and deal damage at range. And here we go. QXC, a little outmatched right here. There's so many Stalkers. The Force Field's coming down here. We'll be mopping up all those Marines and Marauders right there. Guardian Shield helping this Zealot mitigate that damage. And here the Stalkers just able to plow through their own Force Fields because of the Colossus being a massive creature, able to destroy those force fields. And actually QXC pinging the map. I guess actually QXC warding or letting us know what's going on as this drop will be coming down over here into the main. So QXC looking to apply some pressure on Huck and not allow Huck really just to own the entirety of this map. As here we go, the medevac is dropping off these units here. They will be able to deal with the initial Stalker threat right here, but here we go. Actually, a Zealot will be warping in. We have a Colossi coming in here, and the Colossi is really going to be out of position, or it's going to take a long time for this Colossus to be coming into life. He's going to be springing forth out of this robotic facility. But here we go. The Zealots forcing the Marines and Marauders to pile back up into the medevac. Meanwhile, though, we did see some pressure here up on the natural. We did see a bunker go down, I do believe, but QXC able to ward this off with the Ghost, with the Viking threat, and not really going to be losing all that much. Meanwhile, though, actually, pardon me, holy shit, biscuits. Oh, I wake up way too early for school. Couldn't help that one. Anyway, the medevac and Marauders dying right there. Meanwhile, though, LiquidHuk will be clearing out the destructible debris in front of this high-yield expansion, so looking to expand once again. Meanwhile, though, QXC looking to expand as well. Not sure if he's going to be going for this low-ground expansion or what. But right now, we have 3 Ghosts in the mix-up right here. If I can click on them, come on. Well, they're very hard to click on. There we go. And so 3 Ghosts. Let's take a look. They do have a lot of energy, so we could be seeing a lot of EMPs going. Actually, only 1 EMP going down. The other 2, there we go. So yeah, 3 EMPs could be going down there for them. And actually, great scan right there by QXC, making sure to kill these observers. The observers are very, very crucial for LiquidHuk's battlefield awareness, and you want to really minimize that for your opponent. But let's take a look over here at the Army tab. We have 156 to 169, though the unit composition, I feel, kind of favors LiquidHuk, as we see a lot of bio here. We only have 5 Vikings in the air, and these 5 Vikings for 5 Colossus, ooh, that's going to take a long time for those Vikings to knock these Colossi down. Meanwhile, all those Thermal Lances will be raking through the fleshy guts and armor of those Marines and Marauders, and we have these Zealots here that will be absorbing a lot of damage in conjunction with these sentries with Guardian Shields and all that shenanigans. We do have Charge coming as well, making these Zealots that much more deadly. We have an Immortal on the way as well, and 1 more Colossus just for funsies, and Armor will be finishing up here momentarily too. And there we go, another Scouting Marine who will be paying the price. You know, I really feel sorry because QXC does a lot of this, which is great tactics, but all those Marines just die. They must send the idiots and the assholes out there to do all the scouting for them, because I would not sign up for that. Here we go. We have QXC taking this high-yield expansion, so he's expanding along same kind of pace LiquidHuk is expanding. We'll be turning this into a planetary fortress. Now, on this map, this is very big. This is very, very crucial for a Terran player to get these planetary fortresses down, because it's going to be forcing LiquidHuk to consider the threat that this poses, because planetary fortresses are, by themselves, are difficult to kill, but in conjunction with healing SCVs, very difficult to kill, because you have to out DPS to repair. Meanwhile, you have to keep pumping units in there, because if you're sitting at around the same amount of DPS being applied to the building as the repairing going on, the planetary fortress will weaken the amount of DPS being applied to it. It's going to be killing shit while you're sitting there trying to chew through it. And meanwhile, of course, you do have an entire army sitting here that will be attacking your army as well. So it's not this area is going to be very difficult for LiquidHuk to deal with if we see QXC in the mix with all of his Vikings and Marauders right there. Meanwhile, though, LiquidHuk getting very prolific with these proxy pylons, 4 of them here. As QXC, is QXC going to see that? Yeah, he does actually see this. So this SCV seeing like, what the hell is going on here, as LiquidHuk just throwing proxy pylons down everywhere, as we have charge lots coming over here, trying to get in the mix, but they're getting caught off guard right here, and completely overwhelmed by these Marines and Marauders. and tons of Vikings there to obscure our view, so we really can't see what exactly is going on down below all of that. So right now, let's take a look at the income tab. As 71 to 67, so QXC actually taking a slight lead here, but he does have super saturation on this high yield. This main completely mined out, and the natural looking a little peaked right now. Meanwhile, though, for LiquidHuk, his main is mined out as well, but he's got a third expansion coming along as well. And here we go, QXC actually moving out here in mass. We'll be scanning and seeing what's going on here. Guardian Shield's coming down here for LiquidHuk, actually pulling back as a couple of Marauders will be stimming over here and running over here to try to snipe this Nexus, and it does look like they will be getting it, as these Marauders very good at knocking this down. The Colossi coming up here all by themselves will be actually killing off these Marauders. A couple of shots will be going down on the Colossus, but of course the Marauders will all be going down. So the Nexus being sniped right there, but he did lose a lot of Marauders right there, so it wasn't cost effective. But here we go. The high yield Nexus is going to be in a lot of danger right here, as a lot of Vikings are in the air. We'll be just pounding these Colossi into the dirt. We have lots of charge up in the face of all these units, all these thermal lance beams just raking into the bio units right there, as all of these Vikings are being thinned out here by the Stalkers. Only 2 Colossus up in the air right now. One Colossus really not feeling that well. So lots of Colossus being traded for lots of Vikings, but all of these Zealots in the ground, getting in the face of these biological units, allowing the Colossus to be hit. And here we go, Psystorm's coming down on all of these units right there. The Psionic Blast even engulfing the mineral line of QXC, as this Planetary Fortress is just pegging away at these Archons right here, as we see SCVs desperately trying to heal this Planetary Fortress. Meanwhile, though, LiquidHuk continue to apply the pressure on QXC's natural right here, as we have SCVs coming off the mineral line. We'll be trying to heal the bunkers and getting in the faces of these Stalkers and these Colossi, as well as Archons will be showing up and will be just brutalizing all these SCVs, as splash damage is going to be overwhelming them. And here we go, QXC coming up here with a couple of Marines, a couple of Marauders, and it's going to be pretty clutch, as these bunker Marauders are really doing a lot of damage. I wish I could see what their actual kill count is, as they were really the linchpin of this defense right here. Though we did see QXC lose a lot of SCVs right here. His income didn't really drop that much, as he was able to keep his high yield expansion here, as we have 1 Colossus out here just sieging these bunkers with a high range, and a lot of Zealots right here with 1 Immortal. This is great unit composition, but not enough in numbers here, as Templars show up as well to augment this Zealot heavy army. Charge Loss getting in the face of the Planetary Fortress, meanwhile getting up here and making contact, as this Immortal is just pegging away at these units in the background, though will be getting caught off guard and out of position, and it will be going down there, as its kill count went up a little bit there. The Zealots desperately trying to come over here. Will they be able to kill this Planetary Fortress? 3 SCVs will be maintaining the repair on here, and I'm not really sure about this. 1 Archon getting along in here as well, and it doesn't look like the Planetary Fortress will be going down. 2 Colossus being caught out of position as well, as those Marauders shoot through those. Now both of them being at 2-2, whereas LiquidHuk's only at 2-1. And right now, LiquidHuk is in a lot of, he could be in a lot of trouble, as this Colossus running away for his life, with more Zealots being warped in here, and the production coming in here, armor level 3 coming in here, which will be a great defensive composition to help ward off the effectiveness of this EMP blast, because the EMP blasts are going to be so deadly, stripping the shield, and therefore stripping the mitigation of those upgrades. So here we go, all those charge lots just being kited around and destroyed here with his Marauders and the concussive shells. 2 Colossus just hanging out and being bros together, just doing crazy stuff, getting pretty ballsy here. But LiquidHuk now having 2 operational expansions, a third coming online, as his natural is being completely mined out right here, as we should be seeing a probe transfer here momentarily. Meanwhile, though, LiquidHuk looking to apply some pressure to this Planetary Fortress, as we have 1 Mule healing it, and it's almost outdoing all of the DPS from those Colossus. And here we go, the Marauders and Marines sniping this high yield expansion of LiquidHuk, though there wasn't really that much left over here, as it would have been going down here shortly. And these Marauders looking to kill this Nexus right here. This could be very devastating. If LiquidHuk has no operational basis, he's going to be on the same level as QXC, even though QXC has almost no income. And this is pretty much all he's working with right here. As LiquidHuk actually does have some income, as he will be distance mining, and he does have a sizable army, and it does look like the rest of QXC's forces will be going down just in time, though. as they were able to just barely kill this Nexus. And QXC in a lot of trouble, though, because he's losing his Planetary Fortress. These Colossus just able to kill it at range, not actually taking any damage from Planetary Fortress itself. A couple of Marauders left over here, going to be doing some damage to this distance mining operation LiquidHuk has. So if you look at the Harvester count, he can definitely afford it, as more Zealots and more Templar warping in here. These 3 Marauders doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough, as so many Zealots are here, and they are just gangbanging these Marauders into the dirt, and they all just fall to pieces. And LiquidHuk here sitting pretty, just absolutely wiping out the natural expansion right there. And I don't know what QXC is really going to be doing about this. He has one last hope, this one orbital command sitting up here, but he sees that this expansion is there, and all of his SCVs dying to Psi Storms, and he GG's out. So LiquidHuk will be knocking QXC out right here, as he will be taking him in the best of 3 series. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed that, because I thought it was a pretty good PvT. Doing a lot of LiquidHuk stuff lately. I will be mixing up a little bit, because this is not Channel Huck, though I do enjoy LiquidHuk's endeavors, his games. Very, very awesome stuff. So either way, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and as always, citizens, stay safe.